Yeah, hello everyone. Day 43 here, end of the week, Industrial Fabrication Company. Really good day today on a great week. Yeah, even though we, technically didn't move forward on any sales, we had some, good work and lean that I'll talk about, as well as got some more projects in the door, which is always good. One of those projects being we got asked to do 20 more fence panels. And one of the ideas that came out of, okay, if we're gonna have to do these again, how can we do it more effectively, is Overman came up with this. So before we were using one of the ecology blocks to bend at each beam, but what he realized you can do now is if we secure down the fence sides to the ground, and then we can use our crane to pull up. We can pull up at a consistent amount. And if we have these shims here on either side, and then we bend the middle up until it reaches the flat bar, we can then make sure we're bending at a consistent time for every single one that we go through, and have a consistent amount of force and be a lot faster with that too, because we just slide it in and bend it up to where it's supposed to go, done, lower it down onto a forklift, we'll unclip it from the chain, forklift goes and drops it off, crane goes back and picks up the next one. Bing, bang, boom, good to go. But in our lean talk training today, we were going through 2-second lean. What we were focused on was single piece flow. And so we used both our coupon test benders, which that's something that we currently batch, and we really had some good ideas for that, which I'll get to here. But we also talked about these fence panels. How could we have had better flow through our shop with those fence panels? And so, because what we had to do is we started off on the saw, and then we put them on carts, a little bit away from the saw. You can kind of see where I am here. And then we moved them on these carts, all across the shop to the jig table, fixture table that's set up here, where before that they were in a staging area where we were wiping them down and deburring them. And then from there we had all 20 fence panels. I think it ended up being 18 fit and laid out here, and I can show a picture of that. And from there, again, got distributed to different places around the shop where we welded it up. And then it came, depending on what method of straightening we were using, it then came back over to where it was. I mean, you can kind of see how much I'm walking here. We straightened it there. And then we picked it up on a forklift and brought it all the way back across the shop over to there. So a lot of movement. So what we're talking about is what could we do to really just keep everything in this area? How can we go from the saw while the saw is cutting? We're having someone deburr and clean it while it's getting fitted up. After it's first one's fitted up and we know that it's good, get it welding. And we know the welding takes about 15 to 20 minutes, whereas the fit and clean takes about 10 to 15 minutes. So our bottleneck is the welding. How do we go, saw, clean, fit, weld, straighten, move one piece through as smoothly as possible. So we have some good ideas for that. I'm really excited to see how, those improvements play out, that we get to do these next 20. Took us about 75 hours to do the first 20. Curious what it'll be at for the next one. So we had that. I mentioned 2-second lean. We had some other good action items. I'll throw those up on the screen, and different ARs, things we can do to make the bender manufacturing process better. I'll talk about those more as we implement them, but have some good things we can start on right away. But that's a good summary of the day. So signing off for now.